Three figures. Three worlds on trial. Possessive hands holding the scrolls of the law. Detached with unconnecting eyes. Priestly garments. Is this not manipulation in God's name? Washing hands, corrupting pure water with blood. One day that water had been changed into wine, to gladden the hearts. Now, the blood of betrayal. Truth. What is the truth behind that masked face, that furtive look, the truth you refuse to see, the power you don't want to lose? The truth? Here is the man, the obedient servant, mute like a lamb, his ear attentive, his back stripped of the regal garments, offered to violent blows, his face at peace, in the heart a song. Here I am, I come to do your will. Naked, heavy wood, embraced tenderly by bleeding, bare hands, crimson garments soaked with streams of red blood. The wood is steady, firm. On it heavily leans another piece of wood, the cross. In the background, hanging nooses, reminders of violence and war, indisputable witnesses to generations of innocent victims, yesterday, today. Two hands, embracing an unjust verdict, human sorrow. A destiny shared, a cry hidden behind the cross, the innocent one. Travellers on the same road, under the one same load, body upholding body, shoulder to shoulder, cheek by cheek, twinned as one. Carrying the same weight, they become one, their eyes fixed in one direction. They strive onwards towards the one goal. There is a need to stay close to one another, synchronizing their pace, gaining strength. The beam on their shoulders is heavy. Any shift in weight, any disharmony will weaken them both. Together as one. Is it by love, friendship, solidarity, or simply by chance? Whatever brought them close is irrelevant. Under the same weight, they are as one. Mothers weeping, lamenting by the well-worn path, trodden daily by the convicted being led to death. Injustice manifest before their very eyes, an innocent seized, an horrendous crime. They know him, a firstborn child, nurtured by his mother like a sapling. He lived among them, curing their ills, soothing their pain, embracing their children. Should evil be returned for good? Mothers of the world, do not weep for me. Weep for yourselves. Weep for your children. Look at your vulnerable offspring, the children you nurtured in your womb. Can you spare them from the violence of war, from devastation of nuclear attacks, from barbed wire that tortures their flesh? Mothers weeping and lamenting on the roads of the world. Your cry resounds throughout all of history. It is heard in Ramah, in Bethlehem, in Ukraine, in the atrocities of war and abuse, genocide and concentration camps, persecution and discrimination. There is no end to the tears running from your eyes. Mothers on the journey of life, trust the green wood, the innocent son who has strength to carry your sorrow, to give your children hope. Rough-hewn heavy beams, hammering, forcing the shoulders of those who carry them. So great the strain, so grotesque the misshapen bodies beneath. The throng emerge as an unseen multitude, beneath the horizon, bathed in pale light. Different races, people prostrate on their knees, heaving their own load. Someone surges forward, fixing gazing eyes on the one who leads the way. In him, a difference. With his arms embracing the rough wood that bends him down, he seems to have a purpose. He seems to know the sense. On his knees, he draws them all. Deprived of its oneness, stained with blood, a seamless white robe, pulled from its four corners, forming a cross. Three church leaders, finely attired, claiming ownership of the cloth, holding it tightly, even uncomfortably, misled in their belief, blind to one another, each thinking he owns the lot. Bloodied and fluttering like a flag, the fourth corner. A black figure, marching, striving ahead, eager to reach out. At the foot of the cross, the seamless white robe, each part weakened, divided, spread out, yet held together by the shadow of that same cross. The sunlight thickens. Colours fade. The sky darkens. Why? What are the people looking at? Or rather, who is looking at them? The man being crucified, lying below. The Roman soldier's arm clad with armour, brandishing the hammer, relentlessly striking on the nail, penetrating the flesh. A reaction at each heavy blow. Compassion, mockery, grief, condolence, sneering, dismay, horror, scorn. Each face is different. Some faces are shielded, unable to bear the sight. Some scrutinise the scriptures in an attempt to make some sense. Wild bulls encircle me, strong bulls surround me. And all the while, the sun darkens and the sky grows dimmer. Tortured, bleeding, racked by pain, and so stretched that his bones can be counted. Thick ropes securing the body to its torments. Head cast towards the sky, mouth releasing a loud scream against the darkness. The ancient cry, Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani, will no longer be read. It is now heard in the violent scream that rips apart the sacred scroll, tearing the curtain of the temple from top to bottom. It is accomplished. The ancient covenant giving way to a new one. The crowds, appalled, turning away from him, so disfigured did he look, seemingly no longer human. Without beauty, without majesty, a thing despised, rejected by people. Who can bear this sight? Who has the strength to stand by? A mother, a friend, a disciple. The burial cloth, translucent, revealing a body at rest. The face, at peace. Wounded hands, marked red with blood. Inside, the tomb is dark and spacious. Outside, the promise of a bright, warm morning. The light is breaking through the stone which seals the entrance. Within the linen cloths the body dazzles, like a pearl in the oyster shell, a chrysalis in its cocoon, a seed in germination, an embryo in the womb. The inexplicable, untouchable, invisible, recreating energy into the soil, swollen with new life. A familiar scene, signs of death all around. A woman kneeling, mourning by the tomb of the beloved. Jesus, the Nazarene, a name carved in the stone. His death a violent one. His tomb among the million graves dotted all over in the farthest flung places of our world. O Mary of Magdala, you must have come a long way. Your bare feet tell the story of your journeying through the night to touch the stone of the one you loved and who is no more. Woman, why do you seek him among the dead? Why are you weeping? Look at the sky. Can't you see the light of a bright new dawn dispels the darkness of the night, breaking down walls? Death is defeated. Graves bathed in light, warmed, awakened. That light shines on you, almost too much to bear. Can't you hear? He's calling you by name. Mary, go and tell everyone, I am alive.